respect women or like girls in your class or girls surrounded in your surroundings and all? Like, do you? I mean, how did you learn how to respect these things? Yes, Siddesh.
Yes, a girl's respect is taught from a very beginning class only. Uh,
In
in
class or
its
like by parents or both?
Yeah, both, obviously both, but in a very much curated and different manner. In the class it
Mm-hmm.
should be not respect only girls, but respect everyone, your
Mm-hmm.
elders, everyone. It's not taught any
Correct.
particular, it's respect everyone.
Correct. Sure.
So
Okay. Okay. So I have another question on a different uh, level, but you will relate this to this level only. What is the so radius of exposure? I'm just explaining what is radius of exposure. By radius of exposure is basically the the people you sit you study and all. So radius of exposure means, let's say when I go to school, what is the maximum distance from which students come to that school? That is a radius of exposure of that student. Okay, so let's think about it. The radius of exposure of a play school, that 3 year, 4 year, 5 year up to UKG. What is the radius of exposure of that school? Shritama, what do you think? How many kilometers? Play school?
Uh, Distance, I have no idea, sir.
Max distance from which student come to a play school. What is the maximum distance you think people join in
A
a play
max
school?
max distance should be 5 kilometers, not more than that
Five.
for a child. Yeah.
Okay, so like single digit. Okay,
Hmm.
sure. Next, what is the radius in school when you go to 1, 2, 3, like that?
1, 2, 3 must be 6 to 7 kilometers,
A bit more.
a bit more.
Yeah, maybe 10, 15 also depending on the location,
Yeah, depending
right?
on the location, because reputed
Yeah.
school, if you want to travel, means
Yeah.
educate
What was
from a
your
reputed
case?
school,
Let's say your case. Did you go to play school or you just went to directly the normal school?
far from my home.
How far was your school from your home?
It's about uh, 22 kilometers.
22 kilometers. Your
Yeah.
school like 1 to 10.
No, it was from 6 to 12, from 10 plus 2 means only 12.
Only 12. And before that?
Yes. Before that, it was more because my school was in Barakpur.
Oh, before that it was more. And college?
Yes. College, it's about 70 kilometers.
And the students coming to your college were coming from 70-kilometer radius or more than that?
College, when I enter the college, the atmosphere is totally different. So various students from various
Mm-hmm.
places are arriving here.
All
Someone
India?
outside state. Sorry?
All over India or nearby still?
Yeah, outside state,
Okay. So like 300-400 kilometers, maybe 500.
maybe.
Okay. Let's, Shubhajit, what's your case? What was the sequence of radius of exposure from play school to, let's say, college?
My school is 5 minutes walking distance from my home.
Mm-hmm. And then college?
College is maybe 10 kilometers, not more than that.
But your college has people from all over India or just confined to like one city or one area?
I think it has from all over India. Mine it is my from my home it is around 10 kilometers, 5 to
Yeah.
10.
But the students you are hanging out with or you are, sort of looking at them is from all over India, right?
In my batch there are students who are from other states.
Okay. Sure. So, okay, Prapti, what do you think? Do you see there is a huge jump in school to college in the radius of exposure?
Sorry, sir.
Do you see there is a huge jump of exposure from school to college? By that, what I mean is school usually have people from within the city, but colleges have people from all over India, depending on which college, but uh, or at least few states. Do you agree to this? Most people
Yes,
are
sir.
having this problem.
Sir, yes, sir, because sir, good schools are available in every state, but sir,
Yes,
good colleges are not available in every state. So
correct.
most of the people, sir, they opt for good colleges and send their child to different colleges at different states. So yeah, it
Correct.
differs.
Okay, sure. Okay, Jyoti, what do you think? I mean, do you see this that colleges, the exposure level increases drastically?
Yes, sir, at that. So mine
Yes.
was like 30 to 40 kilometers, not more
Yes,
than
but
that.
then you had students. I mean, in your college, maybe from other places also, right?
Yes, sir, there were.
Okay, so now think about this situation. You know, a student or a person who has been studying in that 20, 30 kilometer or maybe up to 100 kilometer exposure up to 16 years, right? 16, 17 years, up to 12th standard. All of a sudden goes to a college which has a radius of exposure of whole India, roughly 1500 kilometers. Do you think that student have a hard time adjusting to this exposure level? Aritra, what do you think on this?
Sir, if it is all over India, the radius of exposure, then that means it is outside of the state.
Yes.
So if the student gets admitted in a college outside of the state, then he may face some difficulty because that is out of his
Mhm.
comfort zone.
Correct.
He has to meet new
So,
people, talk with new
yes.
people, and that would be
Okay,
difficult.
sure. Shubhajit, you want to say, comment here, please? Yeah, everyone listen. You know, listening is also another exercise you should practice. Yes,
I
yes, Shubhajit.
So what I think is that it is absolutely necessary that when a person grows up and goes to college, he mixes with people from all over India. He travels to a different
Mm-hmm.
place. I certainly did that, and when I did that, I went to Delhi, and when I went there, it was the best experience of my life.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend in Delhi was a person from Kerala
Mm-hmm.
who had never
Mm-hmm.
spoken a word in Hindi, and I had to guide him how to
Mm-hmm.
in Delhi only Hindi is spoken, na? So
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of like a translator, and he was like my best friend. And I met people from all over India. I met people from Punjab. I met people from different parts of the country, and it was probably the best year of my life. The exposure
Okay,
we get,
sure.
we can't get if we are just like staying in a 20-kilometer radius from our home. We have to travel to
Yeah,
different places to meet different people. Otherwise, we won't grow as a person.
sure. So, when this exposure changed, did you see a change in the fashion sense of women also, or a mix actually rather?
I did not understand.
I mean, did you see dressing style of females were also varying when you had students of all over India? The dressing style of women also changed accordingly in your college. Some were, wearing maybe some kind of clothes, some were wearing some other kind of clothes, which you were not used to seeing. Did you see this? Did you experience this? Or you were used to seeing all this from the very beginning?
I did not see any such change in dressing styles. I did not.
I mean, not dressing only, just
Change in
thought
food habits.
process.
I saw a change in
Okay.
food was completely different. The food they
Mm-hmm.
ordered from Swiggy or Zomato, it was completely different. The food we ate at the restaurant was different. Like the
Okay.
person I was sharing a room with, he was from Kerala, as I told you. So his food habit was completely different.
Okay.
Food timings were
Sure.
different, sleeping timings were different. Everything was a bit different, but clothing sense was same for everyone.
Okay, so for you, the clothing sense was same. Okay, so let's hear. And Anisha, what do you think? I mean, do you see that there might be people from various
There is
places?
always a change in everything. Like after
Mm-hmm.
every 7 kilometers, the language change, the food change, the clothing change.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how do
And
people
that
adjust with that flip of
how do
exposure?
people
I mean, do you
pardon
think
sir?
people are able to adjust to that exposure change? Okay, let's hear. Let's think of a foreign country. I think India. I think you won't be able to get the idea. But let's say you go to a foreign country. Do you think there will be like a drastic change in exposure level all of a sudden for you,
Yeah,
like a cultural
exactly.
shock?
There will be a no as such cultural shock, but yeah, that
Hmm.
there will be a drastical change, and I really want that change now.
Yeah, sure. But you want the change. I agree. I think a lot of people may want the change, but a lot of people can they handle the change? Okay, so let's, Shritama, in your opinion, do you think student form groups when they go to colleges?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
Do people form groups? There is a regional touch in groups when they
Uh,
go to colleges.
Groups can be anywhere, maybe
Mm-hmm.
college, maybe school, maybe travel
Mm-hmm.
area. Groups can be anywhere among colleagues and
Yes.
friends, among staffs.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
very
And
common.
how does this group form usually? What is the reason of group formation?
Reason maybe their likings, their thoughts when
Mm-hmm.
matches, with
Mm-hmm.
their thinking power. Then only they
Mm-hmm.
become good friends and they create a group.
Mm-hmm. And how
So
does
that
this thinking power match?
while discussing about various topics together,
Mm-hmm.
this might develop their thinking power.
Mm-hmm. So their own knowledge level, right? Knowledge level,
Yes,
expressing level,
yes,
etc.
and
Make
sharing
that.
information. Yeah,
Mhm.
sharing information with each other also increases others' knowledge. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
point.
Okay. Devika, what do you think? I mean, if people, let's say, from Kerala go to Delhi, do you think there will be a Kerala group formed, or not Kerala, maybe a South Indian group formed in that college?
Yes, sir, because of
Why?
the language,
Mm-hmm.
place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The person from South India seems to
Mm-hmm.
be more approachable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And do you think people will want to break this barrier?
Maybe after some
Some
time,
will. Some will
after
probably.
yeah, after sitting down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. After settling down. Okay.
Yeah.
Priyanka, what do you think about this? Do you think people form groups as a regional groups when they go to colleges?
No, sir. People actually groups is not dependent on regional. They
Mm-hmm.
depend on thinking power
Gender?
and no gender is
Depends
not
on gender? Also
not
no. Okay.
not not for me. Gender
Okay.
is important for me. Actually depends on means mentality and thinking power and
Mm-hmm.
age group for me.
Mm-hmm.
Not in
Mm-hmm. Okay.
age group is also not important. It is
Any age is okay.
uh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Kalpana, what is your take? I mean, do you think there is a regional touch when people, start to get too much exposure?
Till now, I haven't seen any group. In my school, also, there is no friends group, also, there is no any. So,
Mm-hmm.
I just can't tell anything.
Okay. You are in college right now, or
School.
you're in school? Okay. Okay. So, school, I think, yeah, maybe a small group might form. Ronit, what do you think? I mean, do you form groups in school? Like
Sorry,
you have
sir,
your
can
own
you
group
repeat
of
your
people,
words?
group of students. Like, do you have a group in school, like your
Yes,
own
sir.
friend?
I have a friend circle in my school, sir, where
And
people
what is
belong
the
to different
number?
parts.
How
Around,
many number of person?
around, sir, 4 and 5.
And what about the others? Like, why you didn't involve them in
No,
the group?
sir. No, sir. Our group is free for everyone. Everyone can join. We don't blame that. No, he belongs from that part of our country, so he should not. We are free
Still,
to
people don't
welcome
join your
everyone.
group, right?
Yes, sir. Still, we don't join because, sir, we are not
Why?
able to have a match with their behavior. Because sometimes
Yeah, yeah.
behavior
So why
also
you
match.
think you are open, but other person doesn't want to mix with you?
Sir, I think because of that, sir, they are already in a particular group because they enjoyed very much, so they don't want to leave that
Mm-hmm.
group and come to our group.
Okay. So you realize that even if you want to mix, others don't want to mix.
Sorry, sir.
Okay. I mean, even if you want to mix with other people don't want to mix with you.
No, sir,
Okay.
I don't think of that.
Okay. No, no. Because your group is 4 or 5 people, right? And you say you welcome everyone, but then
Yes, sir.
others don't welcome you. So that's why your group is still 5, not 50, right? So
Sir,
this is
actually,
because you want to
basically, we
mix, but they
are.
don't want to mix.
Yes, sir, you
Mhm.
can call so, sir.
Okay. Do you have you seen a lot of NRIs? I mean, if you have anyone in NRIs, most NRIs hang out with NRIs only. Do you agree to this or you disagree to this?
Sir,
Most. I mean,
actually, I
I'm
have
not
not
saying
been.
everyone.
I have actually, sir, I have
No,
not
no,
met
yeah,
any
not you, not you,
NRI.
not. No, no. Whoever knows any NRI, maybe can comment directly. You know any NRI, and do you see them hanging out with NRI only mostly? Yes, Anisha, please.
Yes, I have seen number of NRI, and one of them is my brother itself. And it's not always that he always hang out with them. he hangs out with
Mhm.
everyone. Like he's the one
Okay.
who gets mixed up with everyone.
Yes. But do you think that is the case with everyone?
No, it
No,
isn't.
right? Your brother is one exception, right?
Yeah, so I am.
Agree? Yeah, yeah. So,
Yes.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So, Subhajit, coming to you again. So, I think you are also one exception who could mix with people. Do you agree or disagree?
Sir, when I went to Delhi, I had a person who stayed in Doha, but he was also my friend. So partially I agree, partially I disagree.
So
So in
you
my
don't agree you are a special? No, no, I just gave you a
special in
compliment
this,
and you disagreed, right? Okay, what I said is you are a special person because you can mix with people. Are you disagreeing with this?
anyone can mix with anyone if they're friendly, if they genuinely care about the other person.
Hmm. But do you see this
It
trend
is
happening
not
with
that
most people?
if they don't approach other people, if they are not friendly with them, they can't mix. If they can
Hmm.
mix, it is not about like a special quality or anything. It is very
Yeah, yeah. So
simple.
what
You
I'm
have to
asking
mix with
is
other people.
there are people who don't want to mix. Do you agree to this?
Yeah,
And majority
there
are
are
like
some
this.
people who like want to keep everything to themselves and they don't want to talk
Yes.
to other
Some
people.
or most?
Might be most.
Most. Okay. Prapti, what do you think? More people who want to mix or more people who don't want to mix? Which
Sir,
is on the
more
greater
people
side?
who want to mix.
Okay, more people who want to mix. Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay, Jyoti, what do you think?
Yes,
There are
sir.
more people who want to mix with other cultures, or there are more people who don't want to mix with other cultures?
So some people are curious to know about other people's culture, religious, and everything. So they try
Mm-hmm.
to mix up, and some
Mm-hmm.
are like
Mm-hmm.
attitude ones. They don't.
Who is majority?
Majority people try to be more friendly.
With everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Shritama, what do you think? Which is majority?
Yes, I also think majority people want to be more friendly and want to know about all the cultures.
Okay. Sure. Aritra?
I think the majority is more people want to mix with more culture.
Okay. Sure. Ronit, what do you think? Are you there?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes. I mean, do you think there are more people who want to mix, or there are more people who don't want to mix with other cultures?
Sir, almost they are most who want to mix with other guy. They want to know how they think, what their culture is, what the position they are, or what might be not.
Okay. Sure. Sure. Priyanka, what do you think?
Yes, sir. I think nowadays more person want to mix with other culture
Hmm. So you're
nowadays.
saying previously there was the other way around.
Yeah, there is some changes in our society, and we learn from every day from
Yeah. So
society.
everyone
And
think about your parents also. Do they also want to mix with other cultures?
Parents thinking and society thinking also is very important.
Uh-huh.
Mostly
Sure.
parent thinking. Uh,
Hmm.
because uh, we watch many days, and every day there is some problem related to family. They can't agree with other cultures, and if
Hmm.
they if parents will agree, then it is easy for every person.
Hmm. Sure.
I think
Okay.
nowadays maximum person
So you are
go,
saying in a way that there are a lot of parents who only ask their child not to mix with anyone just like that, maybe at times.
not
Not
saying
like
but
that?
not supporting,
Okay. Okay.
maybe
Sure.
not
Sure.
supporting, not
Not
saying,
supporting.
but
Not
yeah.
supporting.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Devika, what do you think about this? Which is majority? People who want to mix or people who don't want to mix?
It completely depends on upon people. I think most
Mm-hmm.
of the people want to mingle with everyone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay. Sure.
some are introvert, extrovert, some are like me, ambivert.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Kalpana, what's your take on this?
So mostly doesn't want to mix. They exactly doesn't talk to anyone and or any other that much. They did not
Okay,
share
so we have
anything.
one exception view now. So everyone said most majority want to mix. Kalpana is saying majority don't want to mix. Yes, Kalpana, please continue, please.
Sir, because in my class also many girls are there who does not, who
Who
didn't
don't
talk
want
to
to
any
mix?
other girl, being
Okay.
alone.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. Think about this more. Actually, I think a lot of people. You said the people want to mix, but actually, it's the other way around. To your
So what is
surprise.
reality?
Yeah, the reality is other way around. People actually don't want to mix. Yes,
Why
Anisha,
the
you want to
reason
add
is
something?
what?
Yeah, I
Means
wanted to
what is
add.
the reason?
Yes, Priyanka. Okay, Priyanka, please finish. Then Anisha can add. Yes,
Yeah,
Priyanka.
what is the reason?
What is the reason? Yeah. We'll come to the reason. That's why I
Why?
gave all the story. Yes, Anisha.
What I will
The
continue
story, the
is,
reason is a showstopper. Yes, Anisha.
I wanted to add that there are people who want to mix, but they are not getting such exposure, or they just they think that they cannot mix with them. Like they have that
Mhm.
inferiority complex, or they are not getting such opportunities, or they are not able to get that exposure what they actually want.
Mhm. Sure. So there is a limitation from all the direction you are saying. Okay. So now I'll tell you the reason. I mean, let me just get to the conclusion kind of thing. Why people cannot mix is the reason why, there's a radius of exposure is the reason. Because once you are, still, kuan ka medak, there is a saying, frog of the well. Your well is just 20 kilometer, 50 kilometer, 100 kilometer big, right? Now 16 years, 17 years you lived in that well, and then your well was converted to an ocean or a river or pond, let's say. Now what will happen is, you will develop an invisible well there. So your well will surely increase in size, but the radius of the well will most of the time not touch the radius of that ocean, for sure. This is the reality. And this is the reason why most NRIs mix with NRIs, because even if some NRIs want to mix with other people are living in this cocoon again. So they have that again, they are again the frog of their own well. So, so this country division, this state division, the city division is all like that. And now coming to the solution of this online platform is the best solution to actually mix with people from the very childhood. And you can have, like, just like now we are having group discussion, right? So if I start asking your locations, you will be, I mean, let's say some of them you are from Kolkata, but still different parts of Kolkata and neighborhood and things like that. So in a way, we all are actually at least 10-20 kilometers apart from each other, at least. But we would probably never mix in school, because our school will be different because of that 20-30 kilometer separation. So we will never mix, but now we are mixing, right? So this online education can actually fulfill that gap of that limited exposure from the very childhood, actually. And this has to be done from the very childhood, even for a 1 hour, half an hour lesson, like that kind of thing. And if possible, the teachers can even come from foreign countries. And now coming to one of our product, learning while traveling. We have a product you can see in our website, learningwhiletraveling.com. There is a kids product, okay, or even in the homepage, where we have teachers, from different countries that teach every day to these children. And these children are of the age of 3 to 12. So, all our discussion was revolving around that early childhood education. So we are trying to actually, give them that world-class exposure, that open mindedness from the very childhood, so that these children become world citizen in future. So this is our thought process. When you interact with people from all over, all over the globe, let's say, right, that 6,000 kilometer radius, your mindset is going to increase. I mean, is going to become broader and broader and broader. And the sooner you start, the better it is. Because as you see your parents only, they are hard to change, right? You will, and your grandfather or something will be even harder to change. You cannot just change their thought. But a child is more of like a blank paper. They can be changed. And the problem is actually that early childhood education. So most problems actually start from that early childhood education, in a conclusion. Okay. We are out of time. Think about all this. we'll have another topic tomorrow, and we'll also do some other kind of activity. So okay, just give me a minute, let me explain what activities we do. We actually break this whole thing into 2-3 people also at times, which Abid was saying. So for last 2 days we are not doing, because a lot of you are new, so I was trying to get you all together first. So what we do is we'll give you a topic, and just 2 or 3 of you will discuss, and then we'll at the end we'll collect back and we'll take everybody's opinion, just like this. But now it is 1 hour, other time it will be like 10-15 minutes, but the rest of the 45 minutes you'll be discussing it among yourself, that okay, this problem is there, this statement is there, and what is your view, like you'll discuss each other's view, and it becomes more and more interactive. And right now it's like we are speaking and most people are listening. There it will become like more of 2-3 people, so you'll get more time to talk. So we'll try that tomorrow. Okay, thank you very much for your time. Good night everyone.
Thank
Good
you
night.
so
Thank you,
much.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir.